Good afternoon. We're convening the joint Senate Committees on Transportation and Judiciary on our 3 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224. We do have one set of resolutions up today, SCR 109 and SR 96, requesting the establishment of a task force to explore the feasibility of restoring or changing historical place names on streets. And testifying first, we have testimony from Gerard Silva. I believe that's all the submitted testimony we have. So is anyone in the audience wishing to testify in this measure? If not, and there's no one online, I presume. And that's all the testimony we have in this measure. So there's no one to ask questions of. So why don't we go ahead and recess this particular agenda. Recess. Good afternoon. We're reconvening the Joint Committees on Transportation and Judiciary for decision-making on our 3 p.m. agenda here in State Conference Room 224. Voting on SCRs 109 and SR 96, requesting the establishment of a task force to explore the feasibility of restoring or changing historical place names on streets. I'd like to, our chairs haven't confirmed, we'd like to just move this on for further discussion. We'll note that this is obviously going to go over to the House. There wasn't a whole lot of testimony, so we'd like just to give one more opportunity for the public to weigh in. So recommendation would be to move this forward as is, both of these, SCR 109, SR 96. Any discussion? All right, if not, I have to take the vote.
Want me to take the vote?
Could you? Yeah, I don't have a vote sheet.
It's all in the binder. Okay, okay.
Hold on one sec. Oh, thank you. Okay. Okay, recommendation to vote on SCR 109 and SR 96 with amendments.
Okay.
With amendments or with
Oh, I'm sorry, as is.
Okay.
As is, thank you.
Oh, as is, okay. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Senator Inouye, excused. Senator DeCoit. Aye. Senator Shimabukuro votes aye. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Measure adopted.
Thank you.
For JDC members, same recommendation. Any questions or concerns? If not, Vice Chair.
Members passing on amended, Chair Rhodes.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Ocasio.
Aye.
Senator Gabbard is excused. Senator Kim is excused. Senator Lee.
Aye.
Senator Favela.
Aye.
Recommendation adopted.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That concludes our joint Judiciary and Transportation agenda. I'll note just for the folks on transportation, we'll be coming back in just a second here for our next agenda. So for the moment, we are adjourned. All right, good afternoon. We're reconvening the Committee on Transportation on our 3:05 p.m. agenda here in Conference Room 224 at the State Capitol, as well as online. We have several resolutions up this afternoon, beginning with SCR 143 and SR 127, urging the Department of Transportation to name the Mokulele Bike Path after former State Representative Joseph Joey Bertram III in recognition and celebration of his life and role in the development of the Maui Veterans Highway Bike Route. And testifying first on 143 and 127 is the Department of Transportation. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair Lee and honorable members of the Transportation Committee, Jade Butai for DOT. We stand on our testimony in opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we have the Kihei Community Association in support, as well as additional support from 2 individuals. That's all the submitted testimony we have. Is there anyone else here wishing to testify in this measure? If not, are there any questions? If not, all right, let me just have one real quick for DOT, if you're still here.
Yes, Chair.
Thanks. Just to be clear, in your testimony, you were in opposition because you didn't want to put up a couple more signs. Is that right?
Not just a couple of more signs, but, our crews are already, that it could also become obstacles to users and also, in terms of the work that the maintenance for our crews would, they would be required to devote resources to maintain those signs as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Any further questions?
I don't have anything further. Can I just say, I guess a comment we make. I mean, the previous bill that we had was true. What is the significance of the name Mokolele? And why was that name actually named to this bike path? And the significance of changing it, did anybody actually look into it? Why it was actually named Mokolele? Because I'm learning now, since I've been here in my community, a lot of the names in the Kapolei Ewa region, there's significant names for the region because of its historicalness in the community that's involved in the Hawaiian community, naming things of the area or the moku of the area. So I just wanted to be careful and making sure that, I mean, I understand certain people are supporting it, but before we change the name, a Hawaiian name again now, to make sure that we know the significance of why it was actually named Mokolele in the first place. Because if we don't find that and we change it and then later on we find out there was a significant name, a lot of people in the community, especially the Hawaiian community, think that it's kapu, it's not good to change the name. So I just wanted to just state that on the record. I mean, I have nothing, I don't know who the guy is. I think he was a great guy. I don't have nothing against him. I'm just saying I want to be careful when we change these names if there was a significant reason why they had called it Mokolele. That's all. Thank you,
So
Chair.
noted. Before the end, we'll have a chance to circle back on this. So let's park that for the moment. Okay, any other questions? If not, thank you, everybody. Let's move on to the next set of measures, SCR 138 and SR 122, urging the city and county of Honolulu to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Lanikai Bikeway and recognize the efforts of Ted Rogers and Cynthia Thielen, who led the efforts to establish it. And testifying first on 138 and 122 is the Lanikai Association. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing us to testify on behalf of our two well-known residents. My name is Thomas Sester. I'm the president of Lanikai Association. And I've got to say that Cynthia Thielen and Ted Rogers represent the best of us. As longtime residents of Lanikai and Kailua, they have always represented our community and sought to improve our neighborhoods. We have always counted on them to do the right thing for our neighborhood. This summer, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Lanikai Bike Lane. It is impressive that community leaders, led by Cynthia Thielen and Ted Rogers, had the foresight to recognize the value of a bike lane 50 years ago. Along with a number of natural landmarks, the Lanikai Bike Lane is one of the main features of our community. For 50 years, the bike lane has been the meeting place for walkers, runners, bikers, strollers, and children going to school. The bike lane loop, which we believe to be the first bike lane in the state, is one of the things that has defined our community, Lanikai. We wholeheartedly endorse this resolution, a well-deserved honor for Cynthia Thielen and Ted Rogers. And as we say in Lanikai, we'll see you on the loop. Mahalo, Cynthia and Ted, for your advanced thinking and all of your work for our community.
Thank you very much. Up next, we have testimony and support from Alex Lichten and also John Lee Bell. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, folks. I just, like I said, my name is John Bell. My nickname is Lee, and born and raised on the Loop. My sister is the one that was almost killed by an officer 50 years ago when the bike lane was not established. And my sister wanted to be here today. She's on the mainland. So I thought I'd come in and definitely support these two stellar people in our community. The Lanikai Gem is our bike lane. It definitely denotes who we are and how we brought the community together. And it's nice to have an opportunity to be able to give back to these two people that have given so much to our community. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And finally, we have testimony and support from Lynn Rogers Miller. And I believe that's all the testimony we have. Are there any questions? All right, if not, thank you very much. Let's move on to the next measure, SCR 137 and SR 1. Oh, it's actually the last two measures on our agenda. SCR 137 and SR 121, requesting the Department of Transportation to take all necessary steps to expedite work on the. Oh man, this is a lot of words. Yeah, I was going to say doing a lot more work out on the west side. Testifying first on 137 and 121 is the Department of Transportation. Good afternoon again.
Aloha, Chair. We stand on our testimony in support of the intent. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Up next, we have additional support from Roland Lee, Mark Suiso, and Sophie Flores Manansala. And opposition from, oh, I'm sorry, is that it? Yeah, and that's all the testifiers who signed up. With that, are there any questions on this measure? Okay, if not, that is the last set of measures on our 3 p.m. agenda. So why don't we take a quick recess for decision making? Recess. All right, good afternoon. We're reconvening the Committee on Transportation for decision-making on our 3:05 p.m. agenda here in conference room 224. Up first is SCR 143 and SR 127, urging the Department of Transportation to name the Mokulele Bike Path after former State Representative Joseph Bertram III. Recommendation is to move these forward as is, but we'd like to note in the committee report, I think the question that was raised about the origin of the name and making sure that as this moves forward to the House, those questions are answered appropriately prior to a final vote. So we'll just make notes of that in the committee report, but otherwise, given our tight agenda here, move this forward as is. Any discussion? All right, if not.
Okay, all right, SCR 143, SR 127 passing as is. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair no excuse. Senator Picoy. Aye. Senator Shimabukuro is aye. Senator Favela.
Aye.
Adopted.
Thank you. Moving on to SCR 138 and SR 122, urging the City and County of Honolulu to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Lanikai Bikeway and recognize the efforts of Ted Rogers and Cynthia Thielen, who established it. I'd like to move us forward just with tech amendments.
There are no technical.
The spelled incorrectly.
Oh.
Yeah, so with tech amendments. Any discussion, any comments? All right, if not.
Okay, of the 4 members present, any nays or reservations? Seeing none, measures adopted.
All right, thank you. And finally, moving on to SCR 137 and SR 121. I guess I might as well read it out this time. Requesting the Department of Transportation take all necessary steps to expedite work on the Maipal. Yes. Bridge in Maili, Oahu, and improve traffic signal support on the Waianae Coast, and urging various entities to work together to immediately open the section of the Waianae Coast Emergency Access Road System, extending Pa'akea Road out to Lualole Naval Road for public use on a permanent basis. So recommendation is to move forward as is. Any discussion? If not.
Okay, of the 4 members present, any nays or reservations? Seeing none, measures adopted.
All right, thank you, everybody. That is our agenda for the day. Thank you for your deference to my mispronunciation there for a moment.